I need to catch up with things. This entire bucket down here used to be full of tiara cabbage, and obviously we've harvested several out of there. So I took a couple of these storage cabbage and I plopped them in. Now, there is some controversy as to whether these are storage cabbage or tiara. That sounds awful, but there were some mix-ups with labels. I know, something that's totally against my religion. Anyway, so the theory is these might be tiaras. At any rate, I transplanted these two guys in, and they've already doubled in size since I put them in there. So irregardless of what kind of cabbage they are, they're happy. This is our current lettuce bed. We have mostly crunchy green left. There are a couple of butter lettuce. There's one, and there's another one you can't really see that's down here. The stem has sort of flopped down, so it's hiding behind the cabbage, but it's producing like crazy. Then there's one here too that's also producing like crazy. Then over behind this crunchy lettuce, some oak leaf that's doing real well. I do have a couple of gaps though. I've got a space over here, and I have some lettuce that I grew previously that I'm thinking about transplanting into that space right there, and there's also another space back there. So I'm thinking I'm going to try that. One thing I have discovered this winter is that the Salanova appears to be like 10 times more frost resistant than the other lettuces that I've been growing. So that was a really interesting discovery that I had not expected, and I had not read anything that would say that it was, because most people are harvesting Salanova as head lettuces. I am taking them as cut and come again. So let me show you the stem over here. If I pull that back, you can see that these stems are super long because I've been picking the leaves off, and these guys have not bolted, and they're still delicious. So, wow. What I thought was turning out to be a very expensive type of lettuce has actually turned out to be freaking amazing. I did not have as good a luck in the summer because we went from mild to horrendously hot instantly, but it's sure making up for it in the winter. So what I have for lettuce, a couple of different things here. My biggest, the one that really shows as green here, is black-seeded Simpson. Now what I found with that was that bolted super fast in comparison to the other stuff. So I was kind of shocked by that, because black-seeded Simpson is one that's touted as being less likely to bolt. However, I guess we all have our limitations. This stuff over here is romaine, the last of my romaine as I recall. And then there's some oak leaf and something else, green star. Now green star is this, and it's okay. I guess that's the best way to put it. I will probably not grow it again because I have been so spoiled by the Salanova. But I'm going to transplant some of the stuff in here into these guys here. And we'll see how that goes, and then we'll get on to planting a few plants. So I am going to take some romaine and put it in the back here, because it has a very upright habit. Therefore, I can stick this in here, and when it grows up, it'll just literally grow up. So that's cool. I knew that romaine was upright because I have grown it before, and certainly I have bought it in the grocery store before. But I just really I guess I hadn't thought about how in a limited environment like a bucket in a greenhouse, that could make such a huge humongous difference. You know, when you're planting most of the time in a garden, a lot of times you're used to more space and you just don't think about it. So, yep. So that guy's romaine back here. And Jack is going to go hide under the table because the ceiling's raining on him too much. He doesn't mind a little rain, but he says, "This is ridiculous, Mom. I'm getting wet." So there's the romaine in the back. And I'm going to take some of the biggest black-seeded Simpson and stick them in the front here. Now, I had no idea when I started experimenting with this lettuce this fall that I would be able to keep it alive all winter. I think of lettuce as being not frost hardy at all, but obviously I was wrong on some of this stuff. So I'm really happy that I was wrong. Slide through, Jack. Jack had to stroll through. He says, Mom's in the way again. You know, these moms, they're always in the way somehow. Okay, so this one here, I have space back here, a bunch of it. And I think I will put some more romaine right here, because, again, that'll be upright. And these are pretty little plants, I have to admit. But they're not being particularly coddled in here, just a little bit. So I'm hoping they'll just take to this new location. And what I sometimes see is sometimes when you move plants like this into a bigger bucket, all of a sudden, they really take off. So I'd be good with that because I'd like some romaine. And I'll be darned if I'll buy it in the grocery store. So there we go. And all I'll do is, after I get done with all these transplants and stuff, I'll water that a little bit. We're going to start harvesting the cabbage over here. Probably in the next week. We have a cabbage and sausage stew that we like. So I'm thinking I will put in some oak leaf right over here. And now the oak leaf is a Salanova. And you'll see it's got really long roots, so that's going to love having more dirt to work with. And that's why a lot of times these plants just take off like crazy when you plant them in here. All of a sudden they're going, oh my God, instead of being in a little pot, I have a giant place to work with. I think I'll do another oak leaf over here. I don't want to crowd my cabbages, and I don't want to crowd my oak leaf. So it's kind of a little game here as to who's going to grow first, who's going to, you know, need to be moved first, whatever. Yeah, I'll put him over here. Man, there's times when I wish I could make the roof stop leaking on me, because the roof's not leaking, it's just condensing on me, which means it's raining. Sort of annoying. So there we go. We have some lettuce transplanted. There's empty spaces right there. And I'm thinking I might actually put some of the black-seeded Simpson right in there. Thinking it's time to do seeds.